The Seattle Seahawks are sitting on the throne of the NFL world, but heavy is the head that wears the crown because the kingdom is already shaking violently. We have a massive coaching shakeup that changes the entire identity of this offense. A contract standoff with the Super Bowl MVP that could tear the locker room apart, and off-field noise getting louder by the second. This isn't just an offseason, it is a battle for the future. Before we dive into this madness, I need you to step up for the 12s. We are pushing for 1,000 subscribers, so hit that button and join the family right now.
Breaking news out of Seattle confirms that the Seahawks have officially named Brian Fleury as their new offensive coordinator. This is a definitive move by head coach Mike Macdonald, who bypassed internal promotion options to bring in a fresh perspective from the outside. Fleury arrives with a singular, high-pressure mandate to maintain the offensive momentum that just delivered a Super Bowl championship in 2026. This is not a rebuilding job, this is a reloading job. The decision to go external speaks volumes about Macdonald's desire to evolve rather than stagnate, signaling a strategic shift for the upcoming season. While the details of the scheme remain under wraps, the expectation is that Fleury will modernize the attack while respecting the physicality that defines this franchise. Now let me tell you what this really means, because this is bold. When you win a Super Bowl, the easy thing to do is keep the status quo, pat everyone on the back, and run it back. Mike Macdonald said absolutely not. He looked at his internal candidates and said, "You are not the answer." That takes guts. That takes audacity. Bringing in Brian Fleury is a message to every single player on that offense that yesterday's trophy does not guarantee tomorrow's job. You have to love the aggression here. You cannot get complacent in the National Football League because the moment you stop evolving is the moment you start dying. However, there is a massive risk involved. Bringing in a new voice to lead a championship unit can disrupt the chemistry. If Fleury tries to fix what isn't broken, he could alienate the locker room before training camp even starts. The pressure on this man is astronomical because anything less than a top 5 offense will be considered a failure. Fleury must command respect instantly because the veterans will be watching his every move. But here is the problem with changing the offensive architect. An architect needs his tools, and right now, the most dangerous tool in the Seahawks shed might be walking out the door because the front office is playing a dangerous game with their biggest star.
Listen, the Seahawks are making moves that will define the next decade of this franchise. If you want to keep getting exclusive insights and the truth behind the headlines like this, subscribe now and never miss a beat.
The situation surrounding Kenneth Walker III has escalated from a mild concern to a full-blown emergency. Reports indicate that following the expiration of his rookie contract, the future of the reigning Super Bowl MVP is completely up in the air. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Seahawks front office is hesitant to break the bank, signaling they may not be willing to make the necessary financial sacrifices to keep him long-term. The dreaded franchise tag is now being whispered as a likely scenario, or worse, allowing him to test the waters of free agency. This is a player who literally carried this team to the promised land, and now he is facing the cold reality of the running back market. Are you kidding me? We are talking about the MVP of the Super Bowl. This man put the city of Seattle on his back, ran through walls, and delivered a ring. And now the front office wants to count pennies? This is disrespectful. You do not treat your cornerstone players like disposable assets. Kenneth Walker III is not just a running back. He is the heartbeat of this football team. If you let him walk, or if you insult him with a franchise tag that he has no intention of signing, you are telling that locker room that loyalty means nothing. I understand the analytics. I understand the salary cap is a puzzle. But you cannot quantify the heart and soul of a champion on a spreadsheet. If John Schneider thinks he can replace this level of production with a committee of rookies, he is out of his mind. This is how championship windows close. You alienate your stars, you pinch pennies, and suddenly you are looking at a 9-8 season wondering where the explosive plays went. The fans deserve better, and Walker deserves his money. But while the front office is fighting a war over the salary cap, the entire organization is suddenly fighting a public relations war on a completely different front, involving the highest office in the land.
Clarity has finally emerged regarding the swirling rumors that the Seattle Seahawks declined an invitation to visit the White House following their Super Bowl victory. Initial reports suggested a deliberate boycott or a political statement, which ignited a firestorm on social media and sports talk radio. However, insider details now reveal the truth about the political backstage maneuvering. It appears the scheduling conflict was genuine, but the communication breakdown led to a narrative that spiraled out of control. The team has clarified that logistics, not politics, were the primary hurdle, though sources indicate there were internal discussions about how to handle the optics of the visit given the current climate. This is exactly the kind of distraction a championship team does not need. We are talking about football, not a congressional hearing. But this is the world we live in now, where every single move is dissected for political intent. The Seahawks organization failed to control the narrative early, and they let speculation run wild. When you are the champions, the spotlight burns hotter, and you have to be smarter than this. It does not matter what your politics are. It matters that you protect the shield and the locker room from unnecessary noise. By letting these rumors fester, they allowed external forces to try and divide the fan base and potentially the team itself. It is sloppy management of the team's image. They should be celebrating a ring, not issuing press releases about their travel itinerary. This is a lack of focus. Instead of talking about their dynasty potential, we are talking about protocols and invites. It is a waste of energy. The players should be focused on the upcoming training camp, not fielding questions about political affiliations. But frankly, this administrative blunder pales in comparison to the personal drama unfolding with one of the team's biggest personalities. While the front office tries to put out fires in Washington, D.C., one of their star players is pouring gasoline on a feud with a celebrity, proving that the drama in Seattle is coming from every single direction.
In a developing story that has taken over the headlines, a key Seahawks star has publicly refused to acknowledge or accept an apology from a prominent comedian, keeping a personal controversy alive and well. The comedian recently issued a statement attempting to bury the hatchet after comments made earlier this year, but the player has chosen to ignore the olive branch completely. This refusal has reignited the issue, drawing massive attention away from football and squarely onto this personal vendetta. The back and forth has dominated social media feeds, overshadowing the team's off-season preparations and adding yet another layer of drama to a turbulent few months. I have run out of patience for this nonsense. You are a professional athlete at the pinnacle of your sport, coming off a Super Bowl win, and you are worried about what a comedian said. Grow up. This is the National Football League, not a reality TV show. By refusing to accept the apology, you are choosing to keep the distraction alive. You are choosing to let this clown live rent-free in your head instead of focusing on repeating as champions. It is selfish, it is immature, and quite frankly, it is embarrassing for the franchise. The Seahawks need leaders, not divas. We just talked about a new offensive coordinator trying to install a system and a Super Bowl MVP fighting for his financial life. Those are real problems. This is ego run amok. If you cannot handle a joke or a critique, you are in the wrong business. Mike McDonald needs to step in and shut this down immediately. You cannot have your stars engaging in petty feuds while the roster is in flux. It shows a lack of discipline that terrifies me for next season. When you combine a new, unproven coordinator, a disgruntled star running back, a PR nightmare about the White House, and now this childish behavior, you have a recipe for a Super Bowl hangover that could derail the entire season before it even begins.
The Seattle Seahawks are at a crossroads. We are looking at a team that has all the talent in the world, but is seemingly doing everything possible to self-destruct from the inside out. From Brian Flores' high-stakes arrival to the disrespect shown to Kenneth Walker III, and the absolute circus surrounding the White House and petty celebrity feuds, the focus is gone. This offseason is critical. They can either tighten up and build a dynasty, or they can let the noise destroy them. I want to throw you right now. Is the front office making a fatal mistake with Kenneth Walker? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I know you have an opinion. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are in this together, 12s. Let's see if this team can wake up.